Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2020 Sims, play like 2025. 2020 Sims, just a basic line. 2020 Sims, play like 2025. Just like 2025, just like 2025. In a petite body, sun athletic brawny. Wrist so nervy, when you talk look curvy. Blue eyes, brown eyes, green eye girl. Bob bag, long straight, full of curls.
Okay, it's time to play with the dark kit. The first made-to-move skin tone of this color came with the January You Create kit, and this set completes this new skin tone. The other bodies that are similar to this skin tone are the Looks 21 as a standard body, but no neck peg. Also, the You Create kit in January that has the Tango in it, she has the muscle body with this skin tone and the neck peg. And finally, the Barbie Basics Tamika had the curvy body. Therefore, what should be in here to complete the set is the tall, the regular, and the petite. Now, this is one of my biggest problems with there not being 3 kits, because the other skin tone that they introduced, which was Aaliyah skin tone, we only have the tall body from January and the petite body, that's the Billy from the Barbie Basics set. There's no regular body, no athletic body, and no curvy. So Mattel, it seems like sometimes you watch videos, and though I'm not that big of a creator, maybe you'll hear, or maybe one of you out there is a larger creator listening to me who can get through to them. Will one of you please ask to put these particular dolls out with the neck peg in those associated colors? Because now I'm not going to get those colors, because you guys, Mattel, decided to cut back because not enough people were excited about dealing with these wigs. Though, I will say, based on kit number 5, which I did a review of, the wig quality is way better. You know, why do they not do a good job marketing these with their marketing picks? You know, showcasing what they're capable of? It's super surprising because typically Mattel will market a doll with this amazing hairstyle, and then you buy the doll and the hairstyle looks nothing like that. Like they went all out just to sell this doll, right? But then for these particular new wig kits, they sell them and take pictures of them with the wigs looking like crap. It's just crazy. All right, when you open it up, you can see that it has these opaque little covers, just like the last time, but before they were black and now they're this mauvey pink. I really enjoy these little pink how-to Barbie instruction sheets with color photos. The Atelier Barbie had sort of a sheet like this, but on opening the doll. I love this, and I don't know why. You know what? I never thought that I'd miss paper this much. I think it's fun and frameable for a doll room. It just shows you different ways that you can style the clothes. I think they should have used this particular style on the marketing because this style is actually really well done and a little bit more modern than some of the ways that they have pictured the clothing. I generally like the leather pants and the jacket, though not as pictured. This white dress style in the center is literally a dress you can get for like $2 to $4 on AliExpress. I've seen it in red, pink, white, black, cream. Anyway, you can get it in a lot of colors. Let's go ahead and cut these out of here. On the positive, they're not tagged in the back of the head because they do the floating heads like this, which I really appreciate. But the negative that I can see from here is that it's going to be the waistband stand, the one with the cream base, just like the Barbie Basic kit. I usually keep 2 of the larger bases in case I want to use them as a tabletop or something like that. But otherwise, all the rest of these, straight to trash. I'm tired of even collecting these. These are the stands I use. I did a video about them, and they're my favorite stands. The dolls, Barbie dolls, are too short technically to use them as crotch stands, except for the tall Barbie. But it still works when you slide it into the back of a shirt or up a dress, and they can also just lean on it. So how I plan to play with these dolls is I'm not even going to bother taking Tango off her body because I don't really see a major difference between the athletic body and the standard body other than the athletic has more of a square body type slightly thicker calves and arm muscles. But for the most part, the way clothing fits is very similar to the regular body. So I don't feel a need to compare these heads on Tango's body. But I am going to be comparing it on the curvy, petite, tall, and regular. So many things to say in such a short amount of time. Their paint is looking really decent. I do see a little bit of glossy strips on the petite body and a little bit of patchiness over here, but it's not a big problem for me. I'm a little worried about these neck pegs because sometimes when they lean a lot like that, it means there's a big possibility that the head might wobble a lot when you put it on. So we'll see. If that happens, I'll have to add rubber bands to the base to prevent it from wobbling too much. It's a fairly simple fix. I'm going to go ahead and compare them to the 2025 versions of themselves. The three sculpts are Stoyan, Reed, and Waldorf. Waldorf and Stoyan are from the 2025 white kit. And so it's got to be one of these three faces. I was leaning more with this one. Oh, and if you want to know about the wigs, this is an integrity wig, and the other two are from eBay. It's one of these three. I was leaning towards Marilyn because she has a mole, but I could totally be wrong. And I think I'm wrong because when you look at their noses, I feel like her nose is slightly bigger and her lips are poutier, which means I think these two are the match based on the nose and lips. This doll Stoyan is one of my favorites, which totally explains why of the dark dolls, she's also my favorite. Though in marketing, she was originally my least favorite. She had this big, weird egg-shaped head. She looked like a librarian. The wig they put on her didn't help her out. And that wig was also the worst quality wig of all of them. Once I put her in the curvy body, it balanced out her head, and she looked good in everything. Any wig I put on her, she just slayed. Now here she is with the new skin tone, and she's the only one, to me, who has a unique face. She kind of looks Hindi. I just really thought she was a beautiful doll. Next up is Waldorf and Reed. Waldorf is also from this kit, and I believe that is this one here. I like Marilyn, and I play with her a lot because she just has a certain aesthetic that seems to lean towards certain character types. But as a darker doll, I'm not particularly feeling her face mold. So Reed is from the brown kit. Lizette was a match for one of the ones in the bright kit, and she's definitely not Cheryl. So by process of elimination, it's definitely this doll. And she also has the same lips and nose. The wig she's wearing is by someone on eBay called Barbara's Shop. It's a yarn wig, and she makes gorgeous yarn wigs. And I'm gonna put a tag up here to shout her out. She works on her leisure. So you got to snap it up when you see it. I find that Shakisha and all the petites look so gorgeous in Barbara's wigs. I don't know what it is about the color she does and the cuts that she does on it. So she's just one of my favorite doll wig makers. Plus I find the prices to be reasonable. Reed is very traditionally pretty. There's nothing that really screams at me about her being super unique or anything. It's so hard to explain why you are attracted to one doll and connect with one doll, but have trouble connecting with another one. And actually, I do feel the Latin one was really pretty, but the darker one, I feel like her eyes are too big for her face. Like, why does her earring holes look so large compared to her head? I'm not fond of how bright blue her eyes are for this skin tone. My sister said, oh, maybe she's wearing contacts. It's just like, maybe if it was a fantasy doll, I get it, but if for a doll that's supposed to be more realistic, I would have preferred her eyes to be green or hazel, and that's going to be of bias this whole time. So look at her while you still can. because I'm probably going to change her eye colors the next time you blink. Sometimes when you disagree with something, you just got to go ahead and make that change. Oh, what happened? Did you blink? Oh yeah, her eyes are green. Since I'm holding her and we're starting out, let's go ahead and put her on the petite body. Because she has a tiny little head. And with these dolls, usually the tiny heads go with the tiny body. Which is actually why the Latina Reed is over there on a petite body. I think she looks really cute. At this angle, though, it makes her head look really big. I think it's the camera angle. Because when I look at her from other angles, you can see that she's fairly balanced. And it's not that bad. I just needed to change the angle. She just looks like she had a ginormous head. But I think she looks really good on this body. Which is expected because, you know, the Latin one's on the petite body. Now I'm going to go to the other extreme. My plan is if I like any of them, like highly prefer them on the curvy body, I'm just going to end up buying another Tamika for her body. So let's see. So here she is on the curvy body. It's not bad. She looks cute on the curvy body. But, you know, I really need to see with hair. Let's check out Stoyan right now. Now, I really am invested in her from the marketing pics. I am invested in Stoyan being on the tall body. And I remember when I think back into the past that because Stoyan had that weird shaped head, the only way you could balance it out would be with either the tall body or the curvy body, which is why my white Stoyan is on a curvy body. So we'll see what happens this time. But she is having the big egg alien head issue again, just like last time. But I think the hair always offsets that strange look she has. Here is Waldorf on the regular body. This is another doll that I'm not heavily invested in. She's just kind of, you know, boring. I don't know how to explain it. Some sculpts may have facial features that you are naturally attracted to. Others may remind you of people you know and connected with once. Others may remind you of singers or actresses that you like. But others, no feelings. I'm so sad there's no Shrill Sculpt. Let's go ahead and mix them up again. I'm going to go ahead and put Reed on a regular body. Never mind. I'm going to put her on the tall body. She looks fine. She looks very proportionate, like a model. Are those shadow lines I'm seeing? Oh, I think they're shadow lines. Yeah, she looks very model-esque, which means technically she's going to be one of the boring dolls. But she looks great on the tall body. I think that Waldorf also looks good on the petite body. So far, this is my favorite. You know, before I wasn't really feeling her, but now that she's on the petite body, I really like her. I think she looks great. And my vote is leaning very heavily to her being on this petite body. And Stoyan, of course, looks great on the curvy body. It really shrinks the size of her head down and makes it look not so crazy in comparison to her body. But I'm still leaning on her being on the tall body. One more rotation, we're going to switch them all around again. I'm going to put Waldorf on the curvy. Stoyan hasn't been on the petite yet. And I guess I'll put Reed on a regular. With that ginormous head, Stoyan looks crazy on the petite body. I knew she would look crazy, but I just wanted to show you guys what she would look like on the petite body, and she looks nuts. Her head says her body is still growing. You know, like babies are born with those ginormous heads, and their body grows to match their head. It's like her body just gave up. So, yeah, I'm not feeling it. And Waldorf is in the center. She looks alright. I'm just not feeling her in the curvy body. Like some dolls' faces just do exceptionally well on the curvy body and bring something to the doll. But that's not happening for her. If a doll looks good in a regular body and the proportions and everything are so similar on the tall body, it's not surprising that Reed will also look fine on the regular body. She's just boring, as usual. Like, she's a doll. She's not really, like, doing anything for me. And it's sad because she's actually pretty. You know, like the girl next door pretty. There's nothing that stands out that's really unique about her. Though I do like the sculpting in paint job that they did on the Bright kit. their sculpts are really unique. Like, I almost wish they just didn't use her sculpt. But the thing is that Reed's sculpt is alright, but then they went and made her eyes bigger. There's just something about some of these dolls' features that's kind of meh. Like, I've seen it before. You know, like, every Instagram model around kind of has that same look. Like, oh, same, whatever. She just looks like the last girl. What about you guys? What do you think? Which head do you think looks best on which body? For me, Stoyan's head is still too big for this body. So she either has to be the tall or the curvy. And because I've already put her in a curvy body before, and that marketing picture is still haunting me on the tall body, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this Stoyan on the tall body. I do think that Waldorf looks really good on the tall body also, and she's giving me a fierce attitude here, but I think she looks super adorable on the Petite body. So she is going to be on the Petite body. This is the best version I've seen Reed look. And to be quite honest, it's on the curvy body. Like, she looks fine on all the bodies, but for some reason, this is the body that I feel she looks more dynamic in. So I'm probably going to have to buy another Tamika so she can keep this as her regular body. And then the regular body, I'll just keep in play. So this really works out, actually, really great for me. So if I ever have another doll this color, I just have a regular doll body sitting around. Just to let you know, despite the neck tilt of the pegs, I haven't been having any wobbly head problems. So maybe the lean isn't the sign that I thought it was. Maybe when you first get it, if you shake it around and that peg moves around a lot, then you know. But the leaning doesn't seem to be a sign. So the clothes is next. What I did last time was I tried all of them on the Petite to make a very strong point that they are putting the Petite doll in these boxes, but not designing the clothes to fit her. They just don't ever sit on her right, and that has always been a problem to me. The waistband on this skirt is a bit bulky, as you can see on her, but the fit is actually not horrendous. So this one is actually not that bad. This next skirt looks like it's a bit of a wrap, which maybe they could have made it a full wrap skirt, and which would have been an easy fit on any body type. And I appreciate that they're not just trying to use elastic as their fitting techniques. I mean, there are other techniques to fit the clothes. A lot of them do use elastics like smocking and the wrap, ribbon wrap style. Having an extended Velcro would also work. So having a skirt with multiple loops and one hook would also work. So there's lots of other techniques that they can use instead of relying on elastic all the time. So yeah, I think the wrap skirt is a great idea. Though I do think the length is kind of a bit too long for her, but I mean, it'll work. You know, she'll look like she's dressed more like a youth with this length, because you can see how it's all the way down to here. But again, I appreciate them not sticking to elastic. For the last bottom, it's these pants. Well, having a tall body in this kit and a petite and choosing pants, wow, brave. To try and stick the same kind of pants on a tall doll and a petite. I mean, even with boots, these things would be dragging. And as somebody who is short and tailors their clothes, and I also have split pants, I would hem my pants, okay? I think I'm a human equivalent to this doll because the size of this hem at the base would be very similar to how big the hem would be for me when I hem regular pants to fit me, okay? I mean, these pants just don't fit the petite doll at all. Not even around the waist or thighs or anything. It's too baggy. And my feeling on the white skirt is that if you put that on a curvy, you have totally ruined the skirt for the petite doll because she will stretch it out. And I think they really need to think about that when they do these kits. They should make all their feet the same size. Their hands should be able to pull off so that you can change them easily. Which, actually, I was able to pull their hands off, so I can't complain. I was actually able to get their hands off. But they should not have dolls of extreme spectrums in the same box. So if you have a petite, you shouldn't have a tall. But if you do put in a tall, don't have pants as one of the options. And don't put in a petite and a curvy. But if you do put them together, then your clothing should reflect that. The skirts, the pants, the way that you do those connections should all be focused on something that is not elastic and will not have a lot of stretch at the waist. You can put the stretch in the legs because their legs are aren't as big of a difference between petite height and the regular or curvy height. But at the waist, you should do multiple hook and eyes, the wrap, extended Velcro. And here's the shirt. The shirt looks fine on her, as you can see. So for this set, the clothing actually looks fairly decent on her so far. And for the tops, I'm going to say the same thing. For now, they're good. But once you try them on a curvy, there's a high chance these will stretch out and not fit her the same way. This time around, all of them have this protective fabric over the itchy side of the Velcro, which I think is really nice. I don't believe it's something they've ever done before, and I appreciate it. So this stretch is the best outfit for her, the petite, right now. As long as I don't put it on anybody else. It'll fit her great, and it'll continue to fit her great. Now, the only other top is technically the leather jacket. On her, this huge jacket is basically a dress. I'll tell you right off that I was able to take off her hands, but the coat is so big on her. So, lucky for me, I bought both kits, so you know what that means. It means I have the associated leather belt to cinch it. And it's still meh. It's meh. Just on her, it's not a good fit. At this time, I really don't want to stretch out the skirt by putting it on the curvy. So, the clothes that I'm going to go ahead and test on the curvy is the wrap skirt. The wrap skirt fits just fine. And it's actually really nice on her. I really do appreciate this skirt on the curvy doll. Let's go ahead and get some pants on the tall. Because we know the pants were designed for the tall doll. And you can see it fits her exactly at the right length. This is the stretch outfit. You've seen it on the petite. And you've seen it on the images of the tall. So I'm not going to bother showing it. Next, I'm going to show you some of the accessories and shoes. These boots with the wedge heels and faux collapsed fabric sides, to me, unflattering. I don't like them. It's just my personal taste in clothing, though. Maybe it's best to go with a short skirt ensemble. But these heels, though, are intriguing. Fantastic. I'm going to put them on Reed. For Stoyan, I'll give her these pointy white flats. They'll fit on a tall girl really well, which means they won't fit on the petite at all. Now, these shoes might actually fit the petite because this part will hold her foot in, but right at this part of the heel where it gets narrow, do you see that? Do you see where this hourglass part of the bend is? It gets really narrow, and it's scary feeling. I think that the shoe looks better on her, but it still looks a little big on the back portion. You can see how it extends past her heel. And then her toes don't come all the way down to the bottom. They should just put in different shoes for her altogether. Or, give her the same size feet and everybody else the same size feet. Why do they make things so complicated for themselves? However, when I put Reed down with these shoes, it's just crazy. It's wobbling all over the place. It feels very scary. You cannot put any pressure on those heels. So I had to go get her a stand and put it up her back so that she's not completely standing on the heels, because the shoes will automatically start to cave underneath her. These shades are pleasant, but not with this particular outfit. Probably better with this one. And these big earrings, I usually don't like big hoops, but these are really fun with their circle and a circle and a circle. And then it also comes with this little triangle pyramid purse. It's fun. Before I continue, I'm going to redress Waldorf before I do the wigs, because I think that the clothes are going to throw everything off because they're just too baggy on her. And as I mentioned before in the last video, rainbow high clothes do not come in neutral. So these yellows are the closest I'm going to get to kind of looking like the palette. Maybe if I stuck her in more whites, that might have worked too. But you know what? I really liked this outfit. So I put this together for her. And as you can see, petite dolls are so wonderful. They're so nice when they have clothes that look good on them. You know, size specifically for them. So let's get to the wigs. Hopefully they're as easy to manipulate into looking cute like the last set. And hopefully the quality of the hair is as good as the last set. So we're going to start with the bob. If I can get it out of the netting. Outside of the packaging, the bob looks like this. Let's start it on the petite doll, because short hair always looks good on the petite dolls. What do you think? It kind of covers her face a little bit too much. And I guess it does that in the picture too. I don't know if it's just because her head's smaller that it covers a lot of her face, but I still think she looks really nice in it. What do you think? I'll have to see it on everybody else before I make any decisions. Alright, this is what it looks like on Waldorf. Alright, let's see what it looks like on Reed. Reed looks stunning with this bob. She looks like she's from the 1950s. Just really cute. I think the whole combo, the bob, the length of the poof of the skirt is giving me very 1950s housewife. But it still looks really good on her. I mean, that is a very time-capsuled era as far as clothing is concerned. Time to try it on Stoyan. Now, this bob on Stoyan in the marketing pics is what made me want to get this Stoyan doll. It's unfortunate, though, that my bob has such a dramatic curl. And with the clothes that she's wearing that I have on her right now, I mean, it looks alright. It's just, for the photograph, I think she looks so much better than the way I'm seeing her in person. I'm not feeling the wig on her. Like, look at this angle. This angle of her is screaming soccer mom. It's the way that the wig curves for my particular wig that it's giving me that. I mean, some of the other angles are cute. Like, this angle is nice. And this one is okay. And then over here, soccer mom. So far, I feel like it looks best on Reed. The next wig is a strawberry blonde with a blonde streak in the front. We're going to do the same thing for these wigs to lessen the wiggy look. We're just going to pull it up and back. This one looks like a lion's mane. Like, it doesn't really look like doll hair the way they have this, like, skunk streak. I guess I'm not fond of the coloring. Just go ahead and lift the hair up and back, because that's how your hair grows out of your head. Up and then flows back. I'm going to be honest and tell you that I'm not sure how I feel about this wig at all. This wig aesthetically goes with the clothes that Waldorf is wearing. And to lessen the sharpness of this wig, I'm going to move her part to not being in the center, but off to the side. And this is how it looks with minimal adjustments. I might make her part go even more to the side. I'm just curious. You see, she looks good. I mean, I think the wig is fine. Like, the quality of the wig is a decent texture. And it doesn't look so wiggy now. But I'm not a fan of the coloring. The coloring with that blonde streak is ugly. I'm probably going to fix this wig. I'm going to totally cover over that blonde streak with a red brown. And I'm going to fix that by the end of this video. And you probably already noticed that somebody's eyes have gone from blue to green. So this wig just needs some assistance because the coloring just screams Halloween wig. I mean, I was supposed to try it on everybody else and make everybody else suffer with it. So let's do that. Here's Stoyan. She looks good in every wig. This, even in the white kit, she looked good in every wig. And that's why, even though I felt originally she had a big old egg-shaped head, I was like, well, correction, she looks good in every wig. And so I no longer dislike her. She's the best. On camera, from a distance, the wig doesn't seem so bad, but in person, it's just gross. I don't like it, sorry. I mean, who decided on that weird blonde streak? It's not even blended in. It's just there. Like uncool poliosis, which is cool. Time for the final wig. This wig's texture is... Oh, okay. I've taken the netting off and I look at the bottom and it's very crunchy. It's very wiry and ugly feeling. It looks like netting at the bottom. It's like whatever they do their curly wigs, they become an absolute nightmare for them or something. I am so sorry. This wig is a mess. It's another Halloween wig, but like AliExpress, less than $5. The coloring, I'm not even fond of the coloring, those weird bright orange streaks in it. So I'm just going to go and try and do a hot wash. I'm going to shampoo and condition it and see what happens. Welcome to my sink. So really quickly, I just wanted to talk to you about when you hot wash these curly wigs. You don't want to go combing through them. Otherwise, you're going to comb out a good majority of the hair. You just want to sort of pull your fingers and feel the curls out and detangle it with your fingers. This is actually how you also maintain curly hair. And that's what we're going to want to do. We're going to finger detangle. And we can't do a lot of detangling with shampoo because shampoo does not provide a lot of slip. I'm just doing a little bit here while I'm here because there's a lot of crunch in this hair that made the hair feel very much like wires. If you comb too much, you're going to end up with a frizzy mess. And there's no point in doing that unless your intention is to straighten the hair. Because I know some people just don't like dealing with curly hair dolls at all. But as a curly girl, I like my representation. If you see brown around the sink, it's because I'm using just regular human hair conditioner. And this particular conditioner has Jamaican black castor oil in it. So the shampoo itself is brown. But as you can see, I've come to a point where I've pulled out a decent amount of hair where it was nesting. And you can see at the bottom where it's just all these weird stray hairs. And I'm going to go ahead and trim all those off at the bottom. You can see all that extra hair down there. And that's where I'm going to trim. And it looks like a lot of hair, but you can see how long the hair still is. And I'm just going to go through it in sections. This is roughly the amount of hair I'm losing from the trim. I have a lot of curly hair dolls, and by far, this is one of the worst textures that I have ever felt. It was the most wiry, itchy, unpleasant wigs and hair to work with. And even after all that, I'm still going to need to do the same technique where I pull it up and away from the face of the frame and just pretty much keep doing that until it's set up to go around her head. So it's a lot of hair. I mean, you saw how much I trimmed off, and it's still a ton of hair and just uncontainable frizzies. But she looks cute. But it just feels like it's still so much hair. Like something still needs to be done. And I'm not sure what to do just yet. I mean, the wig itself is laying fairly decently around her head. But the quality of the hair is just, it's not good. I mean, it's the kind of hair that typically I might go ahead and boil wash. But if you boil wash it, you're going to lose all the curl. And I really do like the 3C curls. Switching over to Stoyan, because she's so tall, it's like this huge wig just needs a taller body to make it seem more tame. And it looks decent on her. I think it would have been better if the hair was a better quality. And finally, I think it looks really nice on Reed, actually. I'm going to try my short hair hack and see if that makes things any better. So I trimmed the hair a bit more down, so it's this long now, though I could stretch out the curls again if I wanted to regain the length. And, you know, I thought everybody knew about this hair hack, but when my sister saw one of my dolls with short hair, she thought I cut it. And I was like, no, I did the hair hack. So this is what you do. You get the doll to you bring the hair together and you pull the hair in at the length that you want the doll's hair to be. And then you just take a rubber band and you put it at that length. When it's a tiny rubber band, don't double bind it or anything. Just a very somewhat loose bind. And then you're going to take the hair at the bottom and just flip it inside the rest of the hair. And that's it. Now you have a short hairdo. And you can see now that the hair is tucked under like that, the hair appears not only shorter, but all the frizz and mess at the ends is gone. And it's not like I made her hair super short. I just made it a decent length. And I believe that this is going to be the wig that I maintain Reed in. So now, on the curvy body, Reed is killing it. Okay, she almost makes me want to put my other Reed on a curvy body. But I actually really like her in her petite body, so I won't do that. But it's crazy because I changed Reed's eye color. She's wearing the wig that I had to do the most work on. And she's also wearing the body that was not part of this kit. And now she's the dynamic doll that I wanted her to be. Go figure. So now to decide on wigs for the other two dolls. So in the marketing pic, I really like that bob on Stoyan. But now, because mine's a little too curly, I don't like it on her. However, because she has this sort of Hindi look to her, I feel like she needs a dark black or dark hair. I have a deep admiration for Indian hair. The deep black, usually quite thick quality of many Indian people's hair. And so I couldn't just sit here and stick her with a curly bob. So I have this wig from eBay. And I feel like it reflects more of who she is. More than the other wigs in this box. Especially the Halloween wig. Okay, so, I mean, the texture of the material is nice, but the coloring is, I don't like it. So I'm going to put Stoyan in this black wig that I purchased from eBay. As far as the Halloween wig is concerned, I'm going to take a red-brown marker that I have, and I'm going to marker dye her hair. I'm going to cover over that streak and do some more natural blending in her hair so that her hair has more of a normal color. So what do you guys think about what I've done to adjust these wigs? I mean, except for this one, obviously. I bought this one just like this, and the only thing I did was kind of curl it. In conclusion, this kit was way more troublesome than all of the remaining kits, all the other kits, the black kit, the white kit, the brown kit, the bright kit. Super troublesome. I had to change eye colors. I had to fiddle with almost every single wig, well, except for the bob. And that wig I didn't end up caring for as much because it was just a little too curly. And I ended up not even putting it on anybody. But it's a decent wig. I mean, the quality of it and everything. Now, somebody might eventually end up wearing it. I'm pretty set with Stoyan staying in that black wig until the next video where I try on all 12 wigs on these 6 dolls. So earlier I said that they were worth $100 because each Barbie basic was worth $27 roughly initially, and that's $81, and then the box brings up the rest. The box is still worth it. I mean, there's no change with the box, but I bought it for the whole experience, the entire experience. But I feel like this particular box, which is sad because I'm always rooting for the black dolls. You know, I'm always saying, black dolls, encourage them to buy black dolls. But I'm going to have to say this one, wait for the sale. Because the quality of the wigs is crap. The color on one of them is absolutely horrendous. And one of them is absolute trash. So basically I have one bald doll because the hair is a nightmare. Even though I've made it look as good as it is, I'm pretty sure in a month I'm going to boil wash it, even if it means losing the curl. I mean, as you know, I'm willing to put in the work to get the dolls where I want them to be. And that's supposed to be part of the fun of this kit. Customize, personalize, play. Well, you can't get any more customized than what I did with these dolls today. Other than eyelashes, you know, which is probably going to definitely happen to Reed because her eyes are so big. But what about you? Are you going to buy the You Create Barbie's basic kit number 4? Is what I had to do to get them to work for me too much work to play with them for you? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for playing dolls with me.
Anyone wanna play with me? If you like that video, you should consider watching one of these. Watch this one. Do it. Do it now. You're not doing anything about it. You know you're not. Oh, and like it and subscribe.